Hey there, Sci Scholar. This is Dr. Yen, and I wanted to make this video to give you a very quick overview of what you're going to encounter when you go into Module 2. So Module 2 is about learning how to locate information. And that sounds kind of weird because we think that information is everywhere, right? But in this module, you're going to learn that there are 4 different search tools that scholars use to locate different kinds of information, both on the internet and in Parks Library. So for the focus of this module, you're going to learn how to access information, use the 4 different kinds of search tools, understand and interpret the information from item records, be able to use Boolean and phrase searching, and to be able to use call numbers to find items in the library. So what I want you to think about as you look through this module is that information hunting is very similar to shopping. In the last module, you learned that there is popular information, scholarly information, primary sources, and secondary sources. Depending on your assignment, you may be asked to only use primary scholarly sources of information. The problem is, if you use the wrong search tool, like Google, to find scholarly information, you're not going to find very much. So again, you want to think of information hunting like shopping. If I want to shop for food, if I'm looking for groceries, I go to a grocery store, right? If I am looking for shoes, I'm going to go to a shoe store. If I'm looking for pet supplies, I go to a pet store. If I'm looking for shoes and I go to a supermarket, I'm not really going to find much. And so what I want to do in this video is kind of give you an equivalent of, what it's like to shop at different places. So let me back up and start, okay? First, when you think about shopping, you have to think about 2 things: how the information is accessed. Information that is freely available to everyone is called open web. So information available on the open web is free to everyone. That's probably what most people are used to when they do armchair research, because they go on the internet, they go on to Google, they can find practically any information to answer the questions that they have freely without paying or without having membership. This is similar to you walking into a Walmart or walking into a Hy-Vee. Anybody can go in, anybody can buy the items that are there in the store. Now, the opposite of that is paywalled information, information that is hidden behind a paywall that requires membership. If any of you have looked up newspaper articles, oftentimes they are behind a paywall. You have to pay a subscription fee in order to access that information. Same with if you went to a store like Costco or Sam's Club. Nobody can just walk in there and buy things. They have to purchase a membership or a fee to access. You as an ISU student have access to paywalled information through the library. This is actually one of the reasons why you're learning about the 4 different search tools that are available to you, because 2 of those search tools belong to the library and they're going to give you access to that paywalled information. All right, so the first search tool is one that you're probably already familiar with. Google and other search engines like DuckDuckGo, like Yahoo and Bing and so on. These are search engines that are designed to find information on the open web, okay? It's convenient. You can find information from all different kinds of disciplines. The quality, there's some high quality good stuff, but there's also some low quality good stuff. And as you can see in the slide, you can think of going to a web search engine like going to Amazon or Walmart. It's quick, it's convenient, it's cheap, but the problem is you may not get really high-end scholarly materials. You may also not get the kind of variety that you need with the information that you're looking for. Google Scholar is like Google's older sibling. Google created Google to access information on the open web, Google Scholar accesses scholarly materials on the web, not necessarily on the open web. Some of these things are actually behind paywalls. But because you are an ISU student, you can connect, and you need to connect your Google Scholar to the Parks Library through your NetID. And when you do that, you can find things hidden behind paywalls. Okay, an important factor, Google Scholar is actually my go-to for scholarly information. Don't tell the other librarians that, but I actually prefer Google Scholar because it's quick. And because it's connected to Parks Library, I can still get most of the things I want. Google Scholar is kind of like Target, a little bit higher quality, right? But it is mixed in with things that you may or may not want. If you're looking for specific things in your field, you're going to still need to sift through a lot of information before you can target what you need. Okay, now the other two search tools that I'm going to go over, or just give you an overview of, are there because scholars like you, like me, don't have a lot of time. You don't want to waste a lot of information going through thousands of search results to find what you need. So one of the reasons why Chapter 2 is so important is because, again, it's like knowing when to go to a grocery store and knowing when to go to a specialty store. The last two search tools are about going straight to a specialty store so you get exactly what you need when you need it. It's like going to Shoe Carnival in the mall here in Ames and getting the shoe that you want, right? So the first one is our library's quick search, and you can see that on the library. You can actually go to it on the library's website. There's actually a whole lot of information on the library's website, including being able to borrow equipment, being able to rent out spaces in the library, and so on. So check that out. At the very top of that library website is the quick search bar, this red bar right here. Underneath this search box are links to other different places that will help you with your search. I like to think of quick search as a dog, a little cute puppy that whatever you put in the search bar is going to run all throughout the library and find those materials for you and present them to you in, a couple of pages of item records. Okay, so that's what I like to think of quick search as, a little dog that tells you what Parks Library has for you. Okay, library quick search is similar to going to the Mall of America. You're going to find both general items as well as specialty items. You're going to have a whole variety of different kinds of materials that are available to you. DVDs, microfiche, CDs, music, you name it, we've probably got it somewhere. There is also, the nice thing is when you go to Mall of America, you've got specialty shops, right? You've got Sephora, you've got one of my favorite See's Candies, and all these other places that you can go to. Those specialty shops have subject experts that can tell you exactly where to go to find the product that you particularly are looking for. Same here. As we've said before in Module 1, you want to know who your subject librarian is because they can really help you navigate this quick search very efficiently. Okay, now in a quick search, and I'll show you in a minute, you have access to the fourth search tool, which are our scholarly subject databases. And I would say this is where you can get the primo, high quality information that you need for your topic areas. All right, this is like good stuff. It's organized by subject matter experts. Again, it's like going specifically to your PetSmart to get the right fish food, or going to Sephora to get the right eyeliner, right? Carpet One for your carpet, Shoe Carnival, you get the idea. Scholarly materials, this is what these databases do. You don't get any junk. It is all peer-reviewed and for the most part, good, okay? You're going to learn in Module 4 that not all scholarly materials are great scholarly materials, but that's why we're going to teach you how to evaluate them. Anyways, another subject, Right now, where do you get to those scholarly materials? Right here, scholarly subject databases. Now, you find them very conveniently under this link, articles and databases right here, okay? And when you click on that link, it sort of looks like this. Under this all subjects, you can click on that and it'll give you a menu of the different subjects that it will cover, but also it's alphabetized A through Z with the different kinds of databases that the library has access to. Now, notice the yellow arrow right here. Know this, Academic Search Ultimate. Most of your subject librarians, your cybrarians, when you're looking for information for your topics, will steer you to a place called Academic Search Ultimate, because again, this is like the premium specialty store for the different kinds of information you're going to need for your assignment. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to bring up the library website, go to the articles and databases, and spend some time in Academic Search Ultimate. There's a reason why I'm telling you to do this, because it's on the quiz. So make sure you are familiar, especially with these two things. I'm telling this to you again because when it comes to Lib 1600, students mess up on the questions about the subject databases and Academic Search Ultimate. You're my student, so you're not going to mess up, okay? All right, now, for your notes and practice, I just gave you an overview so that when you actually go into Module 2 and you read and or listen to the pages there, I want you to start taking some notes. First, at the bottom of each page on the search tools is a list of kind of the strengths and weaknesses for each tool. You want to have a good idea of what those strengths and weaknesses are, not just to ace the quiz, but because when you're given an assignment, you should know which search tool is going to save you, is going to find you the information in the least amount of time, right? So that's why you need to know those strengths and weaknesses for each tool. And like I said before, most of the information that you're looking for will not be on Google. You can try it yourself. You'll see the example in Module 2 about Dr. Jane Goodall's research, and you'll understand what I mean. Okay, there is also, you're being introduced to some very basic ways to refine how you search for information. In the past, I've done this, a lot of people have done this as armchair researchers. We type in random search terms, right? And then you pull up the first page or two of Google results, and that's what you do. The problem, though, is when you're looking for specific kinds of information, you don't have the time to go through all of those results. Boolean search terms will actually work in your web search engines, especially in the advanced feature, and they'll really work in quick search. I really want you to go over those sections, how to use and, or, and not, and try them, okay? I want you to practice using those so you can see how and, or, and not can broaden your search, can narrow your search, can eliminate things from your search, can be extremely, extremely helpful and time-saving. Also practice using phrase searching. There's practice in there already for that. Be familiar, like I said before, you notice I keep bringing this up several times. Be familiar with scholarly subject databases. We often also call them article databases. We also call them subject databases, library databases. It's all for the same thing. Those specialty stores, those premium quality specialty stores where you're going to find the information. There is a term, and I'm going to have you look at it because you're going to need it, called best bets. I want you to know what your best bets are for your subject or topic, okay? It's important. It's going to help you not only in this class, but in beyond. And then finally, there is practice in the modules for reading item records. Once you put your search terms into a database and it spits out all this information, what is that information? Can you read it? Can you understand what it's saying? Can you understand the type of information it's in, the format of it. Is it primary? Is it secondary? Where's the abstract, right? What's the title? What's the author? What's the publication date? This is all information that you should be able to do, and you should practice. Go into quick search, try out a few search terms, and go through the results and make sure you know what those results are telling you, okay? And then finally, in the modules, there is practice links to finding items using call numbers. Use the practice. This is not an easy thing to like lecture to you on. You just have to do it, and that's what those interactives are for. And then what I invite you to do, really, to get you ready for this quiz, is look up a book in quick search, get the call number, come to the library, and find it. Okay? Like that is probably going to really prepare you well for this quiz. Now, your quiz is coming up this Wednesday. If during that time you have any questions, confusions, my office hours are on Tuesday from 2 to 3. You can drop in, say hi, give me a call number. We'll go and find the book for you, okay? Or I'll show you, we'll do it together so you know how to use call numbers. Any questions that you have, you can also reach me by email, or you can make an appointment with me and we can meet over Zoom or in person to talk things over, okay? So that's it for this video. Make sure you read the rest of the announcement that comes out with it, and happy studying, everyone. See you soon.